orbit. Beyond the blue.
The UAP task force was built on the foundation of the Navy's initial efforts to respond to the reports from our aviators on unidentified objects observed in our training ranges.
The Pentagon's investigation of UFOs has been nothing short of a sci-fi drama series. There's emotions, accusations, allegations of secret cover-ups, testimonies by long-silenced witnesses, and much, much more. Pretty sure a top streaming OTT platform would be in the process of producing a documentary on the same as of this moment. The Pentagon's investigations of UFOs are starting to sound more X-Files than anyone imagined. Testimonies of several former officials involved in the investigations reveal how unusual the interest in unidentified aerial phenomena can be. Though details about the military's dubious interest in supposedly alien phenomena have fizzled out over the years, some of the new claims are too outlandish to ignore. One instant that highlights the bizarreness of some of these claims is the Tic Tac UFO incident. In 2004, naval fighter jet pilots who had taken off from the USS Nimitz nuclear aircraft carrier not just encountered, but also recorded a strange object that has become known as the Tic Tac due to its oblong shape. Years later, the puzzling UFO encounter was revealed by the New York Times, with multiple eyewitnesses stepping forward over the years to describe what they saw. One of 3 infrared videos, recorded in 2004 and shared by the Times in 2017, shows an odd oblong unidentified object, garnering it the nickname Tic Tac. One of the pilots gave the following statement. "The thing that stood out to me the most was how erratic it was. It was just behaving in ways that aren't physically normal. That's what caught my eye. Because aircraft, whether they are manned or unmanned, still have to obey the laws of physics. And the Tic Tac bore no resemblance to any conventional aircraft." Apparently, the secretive Pentagon program commissioned a sailor to investigate the Nimitz incident. Now is where it gets even weirder. After the sailor went back home to Virginia, his family said they witnessed a wolf-like creature that walked on 2 hind legs looking inside their house on 2 separate occasions. While the most likely explanation is that the investigators' Poe family imagined the whole thing or mistook some local wildlife for an otherworldly visitor, it still makes one wonder as to why such investigations were being conducted in secret by the Pentagon. How many more such investigations has it funded? Is there really something that is being hidden from us? According to another allegation, there's a chance that the US government is, at this very moment, reverse engineering alien technology salvaged from UFOs. In an eyebrow-raising interview, Tennessee Congressman Tim Burchett said that he thinks the US government has recovered a craft at some point, and possible beings, alluding to a number of high-altitude balloons that were shut down last month. While the concept of the US government recovering alien tech and subsequently covering it up arguably isn't exactly a new thing, the theory, paired with other allegations, makes one wonder whether belief in UFOs and extraterrestrial technologies are becoming more mainstream than any of us have realized. In interviews, government officials, speaking on condition of anonymity, have said that there are those within the Pentagon who are protecting very interesting information from being released to the public, even as others within and outside the Defense Department are trying to bring daylight to this subject of increasing interest. What is this skulls and bones type of a secret society? What do they know that they so desperately want to keep under wraps? There have been many more such incidents and mentions. One such incident occurred in 2014 when 4 naval aviators narrowly escaped disaster. In April 2014, just as they entered highly controlled airspace for a training exercise, their 2 FA fighter jets nearly collided with an unidentified flying object. To the frustration of dozens of their fellow aviators, such a near catastrophe was inevitable. This incident is sure to have given you goosebumps, and it did so to the pilots too, who finally spoke up after almost a decade of the near-miss collision. Back then, there was no Pentagon report on UAPs. Despite the frequency of the encounters and the severe risk posed by the hazard, it took the Navy 5 years to adopt a formal UFO reporting structure. The first batch of these reports, heavily redacted and spanning only a few months in 2019, makes clear that the US government faces a significant challenge. For months before and after the incident, air crews flew in exclusive use training areas off the US East Coast had frequently observed unknown objects exhibiting highly anomalous flight characteristics. Despite the collision hazard posed by the UFOs, aviators lacked a formal mechanism to report the mysterious objects to higher authorities. In another such incident, an aviator reported that he had never seen anything like this before. In another encounter, an aviator noticed an object with flight characteristics unlike anything I had seen in my redacted years of service, implying a particularly anomalous encounter. The following is the testimony of Ryan Graves, one of the 4 pilots who narrowly escaped the collision in April 2014. These were no mere balloons. The unidentified aerial phenomena accelerated at speeds up to Mach 1, the speed of sound. They could hold their position, appearing motionless, despite Category 4 hurricane force winds of 120 knots. They did not have any visible means of lift, control surfaces, or propulsion. In other words, nothing that resembled normal aircraft with wings, flaps, or engines. And they outlasted our fighter jets, operating continuously throughout the day. I am a formally trained engineer, but the technology they demonstrated defied my understanding. If a highly trained, experienced pilot could be this shaken up about the incident, it has got to be something out of the world. Some say it's obvious we're not alone. Others scorn at the very idea, as if it were a ludicrous idea. And still others yet will hauntingly report their own experiences of alien probings following their casual nighttime strolls or early morning dog walks. But with everything from increasingly bizarre reports from increasingly credible sources to basic mathematical probability suggesting the likelihood of alien life, these days, skepticism is harder won than not. Though there are more officially registered sightings of UFOs, there's a thorough debunking accompanying them. But throughout history, there have been a number of cases that have been harder to explain away, from the 1853 sighting by a number of students and professors at the Tennessee College campus, to the oft-quoted Stephenville Lights case from 2008, with over 200 witnesses spotting the UFO, including 3 policemen who remained anonymous. Consider these compelling cases unsolved, and their numbers are only rising. The body of evidence about the military's interest in UFOs has been growing since officials began leaking documents to the press starting 2020. In December 2021, the Congress approved defense spending that included the establishment of a more public-facing UFO investigation office. Nevertheless, the reporting has remained erratic and gradual because the military hasn't declassified all that much information. With the new Pentagon office, which UFO enthusiasts either love or absolutely hate, there's some hope that the public will finally get more clarity on what the government actually knows about UFOs and what kind of weird stuff is being studied. But what do I know?
Orbit. Beyond the blue.